Hello everyone and welcome back to Whisky Wednesday, on a Wednesday still. Apologies if you hear any coughing or anything, still suffering the downsides of COVID. But today we are talking about this stuff, Hinch. Now when whiskey festivals, before whiskey festivals got closed down in like most of 2020, I remember doing the rounds a few of them and loads of people were talking about Hinch. There was little stands everywhere and people were really kind of raving about it. So I thought, I've never tried it. Let's buy the introductory one. Bear with me a second. I'm just going to turn this off because it keeps vibrating. Ooh, wrong button. So this is their blended whiskey. It's a 43% blended whiskey from Ireland. It is all triple distilled and is a combination of single malts and single grains. Are they producing all themselves? I am unsure because if you go to their website, they have a single pot still style, they have a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, a peated style, and I think just a standard single malt too. So quite a vast range. This was only £35, or maybe even 36, so it's not expensive, and I thought I'll buy the introductory one because I always tell people if you're going to start drinking a new whiskey, start from the bottom, work your way up, figure out which one you like. A fair chunk of it is gone. Given this to a couple of friends to see what their thoughts were, and have been making some like cocktails at home with it. The weather is particularly nice, so I've just been making some smash cocktails with this because it works pretty well. It's all matured in first fill bourbon barrels. It doesn't state natural colour or non-chill filtered, but it's 43%. It's relatively affordable, so one will assume that it is both coloured. Not a bad thing, and probably is chill filtered too. Once in the glass, it is this wonderful pale colour. So maybe I take that back about natural colouring, I don't know. There isn't anything to state it, but this has been sat in the glass for about, what time is it now? About half an hour. So I'll see if it's opened up a bit. I was expecting a little bit more info on their website about who they are or what they do, if they're doing anything particularly different. There wasn't a load of information, but there was quite a nice rundown of pretty much all of their whiskies. So if you are interested in the brand, do go to their website because they have a lot of stuff based in County Down in Ireland too. But let's smell, let's taste, let's see what's going on. Okay, so the website in which I bought this from kind of sold me on the tasting notes and the smelling notes. They were like, oh, hazelnut and vanilla. I went, oh, I like those things, so maybe I like this. Smelling it, there is vanilla, can't deny that, but there's vanilla in pretty much every whiskey. As a note, I think it's the only note which you'll get in every product you ever smell. The elephant in the room is that the grain element within this is giving off not a very classic grain note, which I always associate with like kind of a plastickiness. For those of you that enjoy blended whiskey and enjoy grain whiskey, you'll know what I'm talking about if you've tried them separately and then together. Just due to the way that grain whiskey is distilled, it tends to have this quite industrial plastic quality to it. Still tastes good, it just has a very distinctive smell. The nose on this is coming across as very vodka-like. Almost like there's a nice element of orange actually coming through on it. It reminds me almost of like an orange vodka. Yeah, it has that very clean, neutral grain element to it. And the two things I always get off vodka, no matter what ones they are, acetone, that's always a big one for me. There's quite a large amount of acetone on the nose here. But there's also like a marzipan-y note to it. Recently gave my friend a bottle of Haku vodka, so Japanese vodka. Never tried it before. Tried it and tasted it with him, and it did just smell and taste of marzipan. This also has that to it. But giving it a bit more time though, there is like a nice maltiness. There is almost a kind of creamy quality about it. but it is hard for me as a whiskey drinker to get past that vodka-y thing. Vodka, I think, is the only spirit which I don't really give a lot of time to, because I just don't. For me, it's just something which is used to like booze up fruit juices. Obviously, there are different degrees of vodka, but I think a lot of them pull from the same marketing, and I've never really done anything too different. So I can't really get past that. But let's taste it. Oh, yeah, it comes through again on the end. Comes through just like a little sharp, a little abrasive. There's not a lot to sing about. I think I'm having the same problem with this that I had with Monkey Shoulder, in the sense that not much actually happens on the palate. It's a bit sweet, and the higher ABV at this price point has given it a little bit more kind of creaminess, but there's not a ton going on. One more go. Weirdly enough, it actually reminds me a lot of schnapps. I've not tried schnapps in a very long time, but it has that very easy drinking, slightly creamy feel, and a finish which is a little bit spicy, a little bit earthy, and quite young, which aren't normally bad things, because I don't mind young whiskey. I actually quite enjoy young whiskey. And maybe I'm being a bit too harsh because this is the entry point bottle. It's not anything that I suppose they're going to scream about. But it is quite disappointing. I wonder if the ones that people tried at whiskey festivals and stuff were maybe the 5-year-old or the 10-year-old, or they do a sherry cask one as well. But I don't really see what all the fuss is about, if I'm being honest. It's not expensive, so if you are looking to get into the brand, it is a place to start. I probably wouldn't recommend that one. I'd probably go the one above, which I think is the 5-year-old, which is about 38 or 40 pounds. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. It's not as... I think the lowest score we've ever given to any product was Hey Club Clubman. I think I gave that a 6, maybe even like a 5.5 or a 6. This also gets a 6. I think if you put this on a bar in front of me and put Bushmills 10, oops, out of focus there, and put Bushmills 10 and Jameson's next to it, I don't think I would reach for this over the two of them. In fact, of the three of them, I'd probably go to Bushmills 10 because I really like that whiskey. But yeah, this is going to get a 6 out of 10. I don't think it's that good, but bar means if you want something new and relatively affordable to put in your bar that you can make decent cocktails with, I would recommend it because it does make quite a nice cocktail. Yeah, overall, thank you for watching, everyone. That is the Hinch small batch bourbon cask blended whiskey. I'll see you all next week. Cheers.